Welcome to the Stand with Meg show, defending parents' rights, protecting children, and be the voice for the voiceless. I'm your host, Meg, a mother, a survivor, and an advocate fighting to expose the truth of our family courts and empower parents everywhere. Today, we're joined with Ben, founder of Menbuse, a fast-growing platform that amplifies the voice of fathers in family court, and he fights for equal parenting time. He's also the creator of DocketMind, an AI-powered tool helping parents file motions and represent themselves as pro se. With a background in education and in real-world advocacy, Ben is leading the charge for fairness and child-centered justice. His voice matters, and his message is one every parent needs to hear. I see a lot of your videos where you're bashing women, not bashing.
I'm not bashing women. I'm not.
Ultimately accountable.
I'm not. Okay. Let's kind of clear that part, right? So, it's not bashing women. It's putting a spotlight on the wrong women. Because there are a lot of amazing women out there. There are a lot of amazing mothers out there. A lot of great moms out there. But the issue is, for decades, we've been on these putting spotlights on the deadbeat dad or the bad dads. We've never really showcased the bad mom, because they're just as bad as the bitter as the deadbeat dads, right? So the key thing is, so for centuries, I mean, it's no secret. I mean, even I've had lawyers judge themselves say, "I'm not gonna lie to you. We are biased towards the mother more and not the man." Like, they themselves said it themselves. Everyone knows that. It's not a secret, right? I mean, even if you look at the law,
I agree with you.
Right? Even if you look at the law, by a lot of states are still not 50-50, right? So a lot of states are by default 100% to the mother. So a lot of them have to fight for custody. Like Florida, where I'm at, just became 50-50 like 3 years ago, like around 2023. So we just got 50-50, right? So that just shows how biased it was, right? So I said to say, when anyone, whether it's a male or female, have like a lot of power, they will abuse that power. If you're the wrong person, like I said earlier, if you have the wrong heart, you will abuse that power, and kind of like keep the kid from the father, or vice versa, whoever has the most power. But in the case in the family court, by default, I mean, it's just like I say, it's nothing towards women. They just have more power. By default, you're the mother. The dad don't know. They have to find out they're the mother. So the father. So I said to say, with all that power going on, they will abuse the system. So the wrong ones need to be highlighted. That way we know who's the good mom. So that way we know, like, we don't put all into one category. Just like how we can put all dads in one category, right? Because there are good dads out there. So what I do on my platform is like, hey, here's what men go through, right? Here's what men have to deal with. Because when you see these videos, matter of fact, if you look at my audience, really with Menbuse online, most of my core audience are really women. They're like, oh my God. Yeah, like it's like, whoa, I didn't know we did all that. I didn't know I didn't know those kind of moms exist in the world. Right. So we live in a world where you don't know what you don't know, right? If you're not seeing it in front of your face, you think it's all rainbow and sunshine. But when you see, like, wow, whoa, we actually we doing a lot, right? So that's why I showcase a lot of the wrongs that they are doing. I mean, we call men abused, but we want to show men getting abused too, right? Because a lot of time we think that men only abuse and we don't get abused, right? So with that being said, when you actually see like a mom either like not letting the dad to the kid, or a woman punching a guy and beating up the guy, it's like, you don't see that often. Like, you don't see that on media, the regular media on TV. You don't hear that on talk shows. You only heard one side of the story for decades. So now with men and father, we have this very bad rep of like, hey, men are bad, men are evil, men are deadbeat. Meanwhile, like, but we are being hammered down the scenes. We are being abused constantly. The thing is, we don't report the abuse, but we get abused a lot. So that's what I'm doing. So it might look like I'm bashing women, but I'm not. I mean, like I said, I love women, but I just the wrong ones gotta get exposed. Right. And it's kind of like, finish that part. It's more okay. It's like saying, if you know someone is a pedophile, will you not alert folks that, hey, this is a pedophile? Right. Would you allow them to live in? I mean, this is why we have the what is it called? The thing where it's like you get notified your neighborhood that, hey,
the sex offender alert.
Exactly, right. But why show it? You want the world to know, hey, by the way, this person here is a sex offender, so be careful. Same thing with Menbuse. Hey, by the way, men do get abused, or these bad moms are bad moms. So be careful when you interact with them. So that's kind of like mine.
So do you ever do anything to expose bad men? or is it just mainly women?
So no, great question. So the key thing is we've already exposed bad men overall as a society,
Right.
right? I mean, it's
Right.
no, like I said, for decades it's been about men bad, men are deadbeats, this, that. So me adding to that's like, well, there's no need because we have everybody else doing it. We have all the talk shows from way back doing it. We have every single
So
radio
no.
show. So no, because it's already being done already. So they don't need me to
Right.
include that in it. Number one, number two, I'm more about helping fathers be put in their kids' life. And look, in a nutshell, my main goal is to have 50-50 custody. When I coach my fathers, you could ask anybody. My thing's like, hey, let's have kids have both fathers and the mother. Like I'm not
Absolutely.
saying, hey, only the dad should get custody. I'm saying no.
Right. Right.
Even
No,
saying
I
with
agree.
I'm saying with Menbuse, I'm all about 50-50 on both sides.
Yeah.
Unless the other side's like very, very bad where the kid is in danger. Like even though, my audience, for Menbuse is men per se, like overall, besides being on social media. But my real audience is really kids. It's the kids. That's the real audience that I watch, right? Because I used to be a
So
teacher
you're
back in
also
the day.
like bringing awareness for children. You mean to like be careful who they choose, or what do you mean for kids?
So for kids, as in like kids need both parents because
Right.
when both parents get involved, the kids succeed, right? So in the
Right.
past, like I said, when I used to work with kids and teaching all that kind of stuff, I've seen how the kids that have both parents, how much they like excel in school, in
Right.
society,
Right.
and with socially and all that kind of stuff. And then versus the kids that didn't have their fathers or the mother or just a broken home in general, I've seen how they suffer. And as a whole, when the kids suffer, we as a society suffer as well. My thing is
Absolutely.
like, hey, you know what? I think both parents should be involved in the kid's life, unless otherwise with they very extreme dangerous to the child. If not that, both should be involved. So I'm more for the children. Yep, yeah, my thing is to go after the father because the fathers don't have that much access because they, like I said, the child's not born with the father having custody unless they are married together, right? Unless both the
Right.
wife and the husband are married. If it's like out of wedlock, the child's born by default in just one household, which is the mother, right? So I'm saying, hey, we need the father as well. So that's why I
Oh,
chose
absolutely.
the father route because that's a very key component. Because
Do you
even if
teach men then? Like, do you give that perspective on your platform? Meaning, kids, men, step up. They need you. Do you do that ever?
so yeah, so like when I do like my coaching with the fathers, yeah, 100%.
Oh,
But now,
cool.
now here's the thing. The thing is, the dad that reach out to me, they want to be involved. Like a dad that's a deadbeat wouldn't reach out to me. It's like because there's no need for
Exactly.
you.
Exactly.
So to me, like I don't attract deadbeat dads. Like everyone that come to me and say, "Hey, bro, I need help. I ain't seen my kid in 5 years. I lost everything. I lost my house, my car, the kids. Da, da, da. Can you? I paid lawyers a lot of money and still didn't get nothing at all. Can you please help me?" Right. So whenever you have a grown man come to another man and beg them, that means okay, that man really need help because men
Right.
we don't
Right.
beg that much, right? So especially to like another man. So when that comes, like, "Hey, bro, I've tried everything I can help me out." So sad to say, we don't attract deadbeat dads. We don't get deadbeat dads. We only get the one that actually want to be involved. I don't force a dad to be involved. At the end of the day, if you have a child, you should want to be involved by default. I can't force you to be involved. I can't say, hey, be involved. You're a grown man, right? Either you want to be involved, you don't want to be involved. Now, the thing is, there is this like misconception where sometimes when you hear a man is a deadbeat, a lot of time and I'm not saying there are not deadbeats. There's always gonna be good and evil on anything
Right.
around the
Right.
world,
Right.
anybody. But a lot of times though, the bitter baby mamas, they would lie and say my baby dad is a deadbeat. But no, if you look behind the scenes, it's like she kept him from the kid. She's blocking his phone call. She wanted him to the child, but then she'll say he's a deadbeat. He's like, bro, here's my receipts. Here's the actual court order. Here's my
Yeah.
I
There's
actually
my
sent her
proof.
so many speeds. Here's
Right.
my proof
Right.
that I'm I'm fighting for the kid. She wanted him to the kid. So a lot of men don't speak up and say and bash their mother the child because they're like, I don't got time for that. But a lot of mothers will say he's no good, he's abusive, he's a deadbeat. A lot of times now, okay, it's a lot of lies. I'm not saying
And
it's
I will
all
tell
of it.
you, when I've talked to multiple men and women, and anytime I tell a story, I make sure I go look at all the documents first because they
Mhm.
lie. Men and women do. And
Facts.
there's been a situation to where I supported this one person, and come to find out, this person went AWOL, and I was like, oh wow, I get it. And that's so it's the true colors come out if you actually really start talking to them and looking at the documents,
Mm-hmm.
and the women that are claiming the dad disappeared. Oh no, you disappeared. And I look it up and I verify it, and I'm like, yeah, to this, a man, a father that wants to see his kids. So yeah, I do see it both ways, and it's important that you are looking at that. That's awesome that you make sure that you just don't listen to one side. Have you ever found a guy that has come to you that for help and he actually was the problem? Just
Oh yeah,
curious.
yeah, 100%. Like they have a guy where, he say, yeah, I need some help X, Y, and Z. But then when I kind of go deeper into the network thing, okay, what's going on? What happened exactly, et cetera. I mean, I found okay, he was the main issue. He was very, I would say, impatient. Right, he even went at it with the judge. He was he cussed out the judge. Said, bro, of course you went to judge because you was found in contempt. Because you
Right.
can't. I don't care how mad you get or how unfair it is. You cannot. You can't beat the
Rules are
judge.
cool. Right.
Yeah, rules are the judge is in charge. This is the judge home. He's in charge. This is kingdom. His or hers. So
Right.
you would never win against them verbally, right? So, but you're like, nah, F that judge. Like you saying, judge, F you don't care. The judge will go, well, look, another 10 days. I don't go F another 10 days. So he ended up being like 30 days in jail. I said, bro, because you were at fault for that. Because
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
can't snap. I don't care if she's a kid or not. At the end of the day, like you can't get mad at the judge, or even you can't even get mad at her. Yeah, you could be pissed off, but you can't get aggressive. You can't get physical. Like
Can't
there's
let
no winning at
yourself
all.
get into that situation to where you're losing it, because all of us can lose it, but you
That
can't get there, especially in court. And I will
especially.
tell you, there was one dad I was working with, same thing. All of a sudden, he's like, "Well, I got banned from the kid's school," and I'm like, "He's like, I swear I didn't do anything." And I'm like, "Okay, go get the footage then, and go
Mm-hmm.
to the Board of Education, get the footage." And then out of nowhere, he got banned from the courtroom. I'm like, something's off,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so that's the neat thing about it, though, is those people do come out. They can't
They
hide.
do. They not it like at the end of the day, like look, you can't hide your true nature, right? I mean,
Right.
to me, I'm very like I said, neutral. Really, I'm here for the children. So
Right.
so your dad can come and say, yeah, cool, here's what's going on. So, okay, cool. Give me some more detail. I was like, okay, what happened? Where's the documents? If you got like, if it's like a abuse, can let me see the document. What happened exactly? Like I tell every dad, I want to see proof, right? Because like I said,
Right.
when I do this thing, it's for I'm not charging by it. It's a free coaching. It's free service. I'm not charging you. So to me, it's like I choose who I want to help out. I can't help out everybody. So if you're gonna be like a deadbeat, or if you really abusive for real, I can't rock with you. I don't deal with that. I'm all for the one that actually want to be father. That's actually good. One thing I do is like teach the dads, hey, here's how to be calm headed, right? Here's how
Yeah.
not to snap. And here's what to do. If the mother of your child is very high conflict, listen, go to Amazon, buy a body camera so you can record everything. Like if she get very feisty, call the police, let them deal with her. Like do not
Right.
touch her.
Right.
You're not gonna win. I don't care if
Right.
she hits you, this and that.
And they a lot of times purposely upset a woman will purposely upset a man just to push
Yeah.
their button enough, because again, we
Mm-hmm.
all have buttons.
Oh
And
yeah.
yeah, my ex even did it to me, and that's where they have to be, because you're just
Mm-hmm.
giving them a platter of gold, like they just won.
Exactly. And like I said, this goes for like both the male and the woman, because the man can also push, like you said, push her button as well. Because
Mhm.
you guys having the kids together means you know a lot about that person. At least you should.
Yeah.
You know
Right.
like what's gonna take her up or take him
Oh
up.
yeah.
Right. So you do like a lot of like rage baiting and kind of put you in a trap. And I tell every parent, because one thing I also do like is like I do like custody coaching where I have like both the father and the mother together. Okay,
Oh,
let's
that's
kind of like
awesome.
yeah, I do all that. So I was like, okay, let's figure out okay, how can we really make it more child focused and not like your focus or his focus. Like, okay, how can the child benefit from what you guys got going on? So I
So
do
how
like
did you start doing that, coaching both parent? How did you get into that? What made you go in that?
yeah. So overall, I mean, like the main idea with Menbuse was to really, like I said, have both parents involved. But I kind of catered more to the men, because I feel like we needed that the most. But the co-parenting came because I see like my thing is at the end of the day, in order for both kids, both parties to strive, they have to come together. And then one thing
Mhm.
that I came across where my own little experience with the mother of my child, I don't go into crazy details. Like I see how much of a conflict it is where, it's just someone folks are just like very lost cause. My thing's like, you know what? if I had a mother that was very, I guess, cool headed or at least like reasonable, how would I speak to that person? So
Right.
let me do what I wish I could do with the mother of my child. So
Right.
let me kind of like, okay, hey man, you going through X, Y, and Z. Here's what to do. Here's what not to do. And then I'll tell the mother the same thing. Here's how men feel. Here's how the father feel. Here's why the father is pissed off and mad because you're not listening to the kid. Who would not get mad, right? And sometimes what I kind of do in my sessions is that I always kind of make them wear each other's shoes. Okay, let's go from his perspective. Imagine you as a mom, someone come and took your child from you, a child that you
Mm-hmm.
love. A kidnapper come, take your child from you. Where it's not
Mm-hmm.
the kidnapper say, hey, if you want your kid, I need ransom. Pay me X, Y, and Z a month if you want your kid. And
Right.
and the bad thing is the child's being legally kidnapped.
Right.
You go to the court to get your kid back from the kidnapper. Court said no. You call the police. They said, well, it's a family matter. We can't do nothing at all. So the kidnapper is they have your child. You can't see your child. And you have to pay the kidnapper monthly. Would you not
Right.
get mad? Like
Right.
as a parent, as a mom, you'd
Right.
be like, yo, well, you will lose your mind. Who wouldn't,
Right.
right? Because
Right.
right now,
Right.
if anyone come right now trying to get your kid from you, like an actual real deal kidnapper, you would go crazy
Right.
you should as a parent. So
Right.
when you kind of put that in their shoe, okay, oh yeah, that makes sense. And then for the guy, same thing. Okay, picture okay, picture you in love with somebody, and let's just say you break that person's heart. No, let's just say that person break your heart. Right? You love that person a lot. You advocate with that person. Next thing you know, she broke your heart.
Right.
And it's like, you know what? You have full control of the child. You have,
Right.
let's just say that this is its turn, right? Let's just say that in an ideal world, I guess a collateral universal world. Hey, as the man, your heart is broken. You have full custody. You can't harm her, right? Physically. So only way you can harm her is really harming her emotionally. You
Right.
know, when you
Right.
hurt, you will use that child to hurt the other person to make that
Right.
person feel your pain. So can you be mad at her for yeah, it's wrong, it's wrong on both sides. But as the man with all the power and you got your heart broken, look, let's say she cheated on you with your with your best friend, broke your heart, divorced you, took everything. So now, but you have the kid 100%. You would use that child against her, most likely. You know what I mean? You was like,
I
you know
did.
what?
Yes. The bad
No,
person. I did.
no.
I actually did. But
No,
yeah.
no, no.
Right.
I'm not saying you. What I'm just saying, like, I'm just trying to put it in
Right.
shoes. So
Right.
as the father, you have all the custody. Most likely, because us being human beings, we all very fragile creatures, right? You would get it'll get the best of you. You might use that child to harm the mother. So that's kind of like what the wrong ones do. So knowing both sides, you know what? You're right, man. And then after that's okay, cool. Now let's make it more about the child focus. Picture you as the child. You know, did you have your dad or mom growing up? You know, if you did, cool. I'm sure you love both, right? So how would you feel if your dad was taken away from you? How would you feel if your mother
Right. Right.
was unalive out of nowhere? You would be
Okay. So
sad.
you started your platform. How long ago did you start it? And what was one of the reasons you started it?
So I would say it got started like last year when we kind of went full throttle of like posting every day. But the overall idea was really came about where because I went through that myself, where 3 years ago I was going through my custody battle, and it was a lot. So when I was calling around to kind of get some support, some help, some free alternatives, for whatever I could, coaching wise, custody wise, there was no help at all. I called every number there was in Florida. Like when I called the number, they say, "Hey, honestly, there's nothing for guys, all for moms." Like there was no non-profit for fathers. There's no legal aid per se. There's no support group. It was like all catered to mothers and women and children. I'm like, man, I'm like,
But
wow.
wouldn't that only? But that's only like abuse situations, like DV, correct? Because they have nothing here for anybody. Like, there's no support groups for anybody here.
Well,
Um,
be aware, like where you at exactly? You said
Kansas City.
okay. So now, okay, the thing about DV is that, like I said earlier, a lot of time men don't report DVs, women do, right? So when they report DVs, they can use DVs to get free attorneys, free legal fees, free legal aid.
Oh, that's right. You're
Yeah.
right. But there's not like a person like, let's say I don't claim DV, so there's no program to help me. There's legal aid, but that goes for men and women. But I just wondering, in Florida, there's all these other things for women and not
Oh
men.
yeah. Oh, hold on, a lot. I mean, there's like
Because
a
for
lot.
me, like the father's rights movement, that's gotten huge. You guys have had big comings.
Yeah, but even with that, it's not really about helping fathers get their kids. It's more about trying to teach dads how to be dads. Like
Okay.
to me,
Okay.
cause I used to work for a nonprofit company that did that. They have this book called, I think, 24/7 Dad book, right? Henry,
Yeah.
you can look it up. So it's just kind of like, hey, here's how to be a dad. Here's how
Okay.
to.
So you're
It's not
focusing
really
on the fact that these dads are trying to be fathers, but the legal system is
exactly,
holding them back.
exactly.
And that's why we're talking today.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you're not just exposing, the crazies women's or the women that are abusive to men. You also are fighting it behind the scenes more, because I didn't know that you do all this counseling stuff. I think that's amazing.
Oh
What
yeah,
is your
yeah.
plan long term for that?
Long term is to really see how many dads can I bring in kids' lives, right? Because if you go on a website or make like this is like an actual real legit non-profit company that I have. It's a 501c3 nonprofit company. So overall, I go for this nonprofit is to really build a world where kids are raised with their fathers, right? And that doesn't mean like only that. I mean like as in both by default,
Mhm.
right? But yeah, that's the overall vision. Okay, how many kids can have a father in their lives, right? Because if you look at it, what's going on in society, whenever you like something bad happen, like either a person harm somebody, do X, Y, and Z, what's the first thing that on that you see the word X about that person that just harmed somebody? Like, what is the first line that you hear the most when someone do something wrong in society?
It's their fault.
No, no,
They
no, no,
maybe
no.
do
What,
it.
no, 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 no. Besides that, what's the first question that you hear a lot?
Trying to understand your meaning. What's the
Okay,
first question I would
you
hear?
hear, yeah. Okay, okay. Let's say a group of young men in their 20s, probably. Let's say
Okay.
they like out here robbing the stores and doing bad things, unaliving folks. Either it's a young man or a young woman too, a women. What's the first thing that you hear or see a lot, question wise?
They don't have a father in their life.
Yes. Where's
Yeah,
their dad?
exactly. Where's their
Right?
father? And that's one thing, talking about this, I had my children for 10 years, 80%. And when they're little, I did it. I had 3 in 1 year, 5 in 5 years. So I was like 4 in diapers, working my behind off. But as my children got older and they started getting preteens, I needed a man figure to step up and say, no, you will not treat your mother like this. Because that's where
Mhm.
I think men are really important, is as they start growing and start finding their identity, men and girls and boys, right? They need a father to stand up and say, no, no,
Mhm.
no, no. And that's where I was like, even as a single mom, I wish their father would have been that way, like as us co-parenting together, but that didn't happen. But
Mhm.
it's huge. And I was like, I can't do this. And that's one part. My kids are with their father and he stole them illegally. But a part of me is like, well, at least they're teenagers now. I had my, 10 years of them nonstop pretty much. But they need fathers.
Mhm.
Kids start making bad choices if they just have a mother or grandmother and not a man to come
Mhm.
into their life. So I
Mhm.
completely, and my kids are good kids and they had everything, right? Their dad's a millionaire and they still needed their father to step up and say, enough's enough.
Yeah, yeah. But then I said to say that's why I'm so like, okay, zone in. Well, you know what, kids haven't fathered because, like you said, it's very important. This is why we
It,
ask, where is the father? Father this person. That's why he or she's acting up. That's why she's a stripper, a porn star, whatever. Where was the dad? The dad get blamed for all the bad things when the child becomes a bad adult. But it's like, what that means, okay, that means it's a very important thing that we need to have in the household. We need the father. We need, of
yeah.
course, both the mother. I'm not saying, for some reason,
They
when I,
have
when I,
different
when I
roles. There's totally different roles
we
a
need
mother
both.
plays versus a
Exactly.
man.
Yeah,
We need both.
we
Exactly.
need
You
both. We
know,
need both.
and I think that you were just saying the fact that, have you ever heard of a story where there was a child or teenager that acted out that had a very involved father? You don't hear that much, do we?
Exactly. Exactly. That's very rare. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. There would all be, of course,
Right,
options, but
right.
that's very rare. When the child have both parents, the child have a very higher chance to succeed and be a good citizen. And then one thing I tell every parent is that, look, the kid that we are raising, we think it's like we raising a child for us. We're not. We're not raising a child for us or for them. We're raising a child
Nope.
for
Our
society.
children are only borrowed. Our children are borrowed.
Exactly.
We borrow them, and then they're gone.
Exactly. So as a parent, raise a child for the world. because at the end of the day, a robber would never steal from you, but they'll steal
Right.
from the cashier at the liquor store. A let's not to get too dark, but a bad person would is very less likely to harm you as the parent, but they'll harm a stranger, they'll harm somebody else. Your son, won't grape you, but they'll grape somebody else, right? So I
Right.
had to say, your child is not really for you. Raise a child to be a good citizen and be good to people. That's who's gonna get all the wrath of your bad parenting or good parenting, right?
Okay, so
So
with that, you and I have completely agree on every angle on that. Do you think that the government, our court system, is purposely breaking families apart just to keep all of the bad kids keep going? You know what I mean? Like they're purposely withholding fathers on purpose and mothers like me, and then all of a sudden these kids are fatherless or motherless, and we're still creating pathways for our culture to fail.
no, great point. I mean, quick insert, yes, right. Long insert. The, the key thing is, and the court, it is a business. That's what it is. Like they don't want the kids to have both parents
Right.
in the home because there's no money in it. Like
Right.
like if you don't go to court with your husband, there's no money being made.
Right.
Or
Right.
your ex-husband,
$1 billion industry.
Yeah, there's no money being made. If the father's in a home, then the child support that they'll receive is less amount from child support, either less to none. So they want us to be apart because there's more money they can make off the child, of you, of the father. They need to make money, and then when the kids get old and get bad, they go to jail and prison. That's more money they cash out on. So
Yeah.
so if you look at society as a whole, those that make the most money is all the negative stuff, right? Like negativity and evil.
That's why you grew so fast.
100%. Now, like a fun fact. Before I started doing like these crazy videos, I was more about peace, kumbaya, promoting like positivity. Hey, let's get along. I was getting no growth. It wasn't growing. I spent a whole year being like, here's the good mom, here's the good dad. Nothing. When sometimes I start putting like more of a here's somebody acting out, going crazy and getting loud.
Yeah.
Within 1 month, grew. I'm like, wow. I'm like, oh, that is so sad. Because Loki, look, honestly, personally, I don't like doing that. I don't kind of like videos, but if that brings awareness, I have to do what I have to do. But personally, I don't like it. If you ask my friend, like, bro, I don't like doing this. I like to show the positive side, but I spent a whole year doing it. Nothing dads, right? They need that. So I'm like, let me do what I can to fight hard, and that's what I did. And from there on, Menbuse got birth. But in a nutshell, yeah, that's kind of what happened.
Have you gotten in trouble at all because of your social media in court?
Yeah. So okay. So fun fact. So before I went towards the exposing others bad moms and dads, whatever videos, I thought I was sharing my story. Hey, here's what I went because the thing is, she was going online. She spent 2 years just bashing me online. I was just quiet. I was offline for 2 years. Hey, he's no good. He's a deadbeat. I'm like, a deadbeat? I'm like, I'm in court fighting you for my kid. How am I a deadbeat, right? So
right.
bashing me online. I'm like, you know what? Let me start speaking. I say, hey, no, she's lying. Here's the receipts, right? Here's the da da da. Next thing you know, I'm in court. She had my social media up, and hey, he's talking about me online, talking about the case online, and just hey, you can't do that. You have to take it down. I'm like, you know what? Fine, whatever. I don't mind, not talking about you. If anything, it's actually better that way because now I'm like, you know what? Let me move and expose other situation and not mine. I'm glad I did because doing that made me grow even faster. Because at the end of the day, it's really ready it's hard to spend years just talking about your own issue. People get time. Okay, bro, we get it. Yeah,
it's
still a bad mom, blah blah. Well, I'm sure like new stuff every time. Oh yeah, now it's way better. So yeah, she did me a big favor by doing that. Which I don't mind. But yeah, so I did get involved.
Do they still bring it up though, even though you don't talk about anything personal?
Yeah, so she's still trying to bring it up and say, oh, he's bashing women and mom. I said, but that's not you. Why does it matter?
Why does it matter? Yeah.
Right. He's talking about whatever online. She's still trying to use that as an excuse to make the kid fatherless. But I'm
It's
like,
funny because the guy that I'm talking to, all he does is build women up. All
mm,
he does is his passion is to give women encouragement that you are enough, that you deserve a great man. That's all he does, and they still bring that up in court.
wow, really?
Yes, yes. So it's like doesn't really matter what you focus on; they're going to bring it up.
Yeah, they would. Like I said, cause one thing I learned is that look, when someone is very, I would say, have evil intentions and bad intention, it doesn't matter what you look. If you sneeze, they'll bring it up in court, right? So it
Right,
doesn't
and
matter.
that's what the point is. Like, doesn't matter. You even don't talk
Yeah.
about it, and they still. So I guess I just wanted to say, like, it's funny because all the people I've been talking to that are in situations, every time it doesn't matter, they bring it up in court. And I got scolded for working hard to go change this law in Congress from a judge last week, and I'm like, really going to DC and trying to put laws in place where this couldn't happen to parents? That's
Mhm.
wasted time. Oh, it won't change your case. Oh yeah, it will change my case. So,
Mhm.
but they don't want us to do that,
Nah,
honestly.
nah.
They
They
want us
don't.
in court forever. They want
They
us to
want.
keep fighting. Yeah.
Yeah, because the longer you are, the more money you make in court. So I mean, I'm very against it. I'm very against court. I am so against court. I'm against a lot of like these laws that are very outdated. And then like these laws to me just a lot of laws don't make sense in family court. That is me personally being honest, right? Even laws such as child support, for example, right? It's okay, cool, yeah, I get child support, but if we have 50-50 custody, it should just be a just clean slate. Hey, no one pay child support. We both care for the child separately, right, in our home. Or like things such as, states not being 50-50. It's like, why a lot of states are not 50-50 still? It's like, that don't make sense to me at all. If we both come together and have a child together, by default, 50-50, unless, one party is very aggressive, abusive. Yeah, that part I get.
Well, and I
But
think that's one thing that needs to happen. If there was really real due process in family court, then the people that are bad would be exposed.
mhm,
That would eliminate all of those issues. And the child support issue, like my ex is a millionaire, and in Missouri, when they gave me child support because I had 5 kids in 5 years, but so in Missouri, if you make $100,000 or if you make $1 million, it's the same payment.
really?
And so that means the guys that make lower income actually get hurt versus the
Mhm,
guys that make more. It's like pennies, right? They make that in a
mhm,
day. And that's where I'm seeing is the government purposely hurts the lower income guys, and the
mhm.
higher income get away with it. And
Yeah.
so that's where I'm glad you guys are standing up about the child support issue, because the rich people are the ones that are completely not caring. But we've gotten finally, I feel like we're getting louder, right? I think people do you see how much louder everyone's getting, and maybe things will start being noticed by 50-50 and all that stuff?
Yeah, so yeah, partially. Okay, I do see a little bit of growth because we are being much more vocal, especially like on the men's side, like you mentioned. But the only bad thing is though, when men become vocal, we get bashed for being vocal. We're like the world look at men being vocal, trying to get fairness of us bashing women. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's like a lot of men feel like, oh man, if I speak up, they'll think I don't like women. Let me just stay quiet. Let me be scared,
Well,
right?
and
So
that's why I like this, like you and I talking, because we both are humans, we both are parents, we both have a heart for our children. Tough Dad,
I thought it
he
was tough.
grew he grew like crazy like last year. And he had a video where he just bashed women, bashed women, bashed women, and he like cussed out this woman, and so I did a snitch with him, and I said, hey, and I was very sweet, I'm here supporting both, and I held him accountable, and he's kind of turning now to parent. He's realizing it's not just all women are crazy,
No.
there's so his platform has changed, and I'm really proud of him. When did you realize that it wasn't just a men thing? It's what there's bad men, there's bad women, there's good men, there's good women. When did you kind of start realizing that?
I mean, to be honest, to me, I mean, it's kind of common sense in a way because a lot of people don't have common sense. Like common sense, as in, like, listen, there's both good and bad out there. And I think me being black as well made me realize that even faster because as growing up, crickets, same channel, same name, same logo, nothing changed but the content.
But the
Oh,
content,
wow, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And they like the fighting. I don't know if I have a estranged sister that partnered with my ex and built a whole platform just making fun of me. That's all she does. Bash
Your
me.
sister?
Estranged sisters.
Oh, okay,
Estranged.
okay, 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 okay.
I haven't seen them in I have 3 sisters that I haven't seen in 3 years. But I'm from a family of 9 kids, so I have other family.
Oh, well, so
But
she's your blood sister.
huh?
She's your blood sister, though.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And you know what? The people I've talked to, 98, I was in this big Zoom with tons of parents that have lost their kids like I have. And I asked them to raise their hand if a parent or mother or stepfather, any sibling went against you and partnered with the other person. And 99% of them raised their hand. So it's very common with the people I'm attracting, I guess you want to call it. But yeah, she had 72 followers on TikTok, and then once she saw I was growing, she literally just started making fun of me. I mean, there's videos of them saying, "Oh, look at her in her makeup. She's like a Republican makeup." I mean, it's just a whole bashing. And she grew to 35,000. But I have a lawsuit in, and I'm suing her, and the judge made her take all the videos down. But anyway, but I'm just saying the reason she grew so fast was because making fun of people gets views.
It does. It's a very sad world, but for some reason we love negative. Not as in me and you, but just the world.
Right.
We love negativity.
Evil. They like the bad.
They do. And to me, like, I dislike that so much. Like I said, it takes a lot for me to actually post a video because I'm just like, I don't like doing it. But the goal is to bring awareness. Like, I need them to see the ugly side of things. So that way, like, even if someone that don't have kids, like, you know what? I'm good. Let me be very mindful of who I have sex with, who I'm married. Let me be more mindful. Because honestly, I wish I had something like this with Menbuse before I got my child pregnant. If I would have seen, like, I'm like, wow, this is how it is. Let me be more careful. Let me move around but once again, that wasn't a thing I was seeing like that 3 years ago. So, like I said, there's good and bad to it.
Have you heard of Rob Harvey? You probably have. The guy. He's the guy that here. I'll pull him up because he started his with the same type of drama, and then he's kind of turned it. He still does it, but he's turned it to you know him. Everyone knows him. He's huge, but he's turned his into. He still exposes it, but he doesn't. He's just turned it a little bit. Like he likes to do like crazy woman. Like he had a crazy woman right today, but he has turned it to be. You know him.
Oh yeah, okay, I know.
Yeah, him. That or it just reminds me of you could be like the black person of him, but because he is, and I like how he has spun it because he grew too, like doing that, and then now he's kind of tweaked it just a little. I think that's gotten him a little bit more of. It's not like you're like you're like I got to do this again, because drama does get views.
It does, man. It just sucks that it does. But like I feel like, listen, if I don't do it, somebody else will. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, at least like my thing is like turn my thing into something positive. So even though I'm putting out drama, when I get those fathers and mothers that comes in to me, it's positive results. Right.
Well, I'm glad that you're doing this because I think the coolest thing at the very beginning of this talk, you said, wait, let me get this straight. I'm put this out there. Like, and your heart is completely different than what your social media, but you're bringing awareness. You're reaching people and you found your niche. And so when you found your niche, it's not exactly the funnest sometimes, like mine. I don't like to show myself crying online, but I do it because I know when I was crying one time, I saw someone crying and I didn't feel alone anymore. So this is a side that I'm really excited for people to see that your heart is huge, huge.
100%, man. And one thing people don't know is that when I do this Menbuse content, honestly, I feel like I'm just reliving my own nightmare, because I've been through it. So it's like, I'm kind of it's like having a Band-Aid. I keep on ripping the Band-Aid off because when I post a video of a custody, whatever fight, whatnot, it goes back to my issue when I was going through. So it's like I'm like reliving this nightmare completely every single time.
Yeah, you are.
It's not all fun and games like it seems online. So trust me, it's not a thing where like the thing is, this is more because I'm like this is in my heart. Sometimes your calling is not what you want to do. It's just because it's just your calling. Like God said, bro, you went through what you went through so you can help out other fathers. And I helped out at least like over 50 plus dads already so far, maybe even more, right? So and of course, and mothers too that want to co-parent. So I helped like a lot of folks. I've done like speaking engagement in different nonprofits and mom groups, fathers groups. So I've really been involved from this pain that I went through. So it's not fun and rainbows, but You
And
know,
that's one thing I do want to focus on, because I've found that there are certain people out there that purposely make fun of people just to get followers and to get big,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And their whole agenda is just to be famous and get the views and just to bash and hurt other people.
Mm-hmm.
I see you're different completely, because you're doing other things to help people. I want you to explain to me how you're different in those type of people.
Yeah, so with me, my thing is more, like I said earlier, is child focus, right? Kids having both parents. If you look at my social media, you could tell that I'm not in it for the fame, because if I was, you would be seeing me talking more. I'm in it to kind of like just show other folks
Yeah,
acting up.
that's a good
You
point.
rarely
Very
see
good point.
me talking and trying to be off on the camera. Matter of
Yeah.
fact, a lot of people don't even know my name, to be
Right.
honest. They don't even
Right.
they know Menbuse. They don't know who I am, right? So they
Right.
don't even know how I sound like sometimes. They don't even know like what my first name is, what my nickname is. Like they barely know who I am. So that
That's a
that
great
that shows that, hey, I'm not in it for the fame. Right. Number one. Number two, I actually have like my own little private group on Telegram for the dads. It's not public. It's very private. I mean, I don't just want anyone to be involved. I could say, hey, you know what? Hey, join the link and then just get the whole world involved. I'm saying, hey, I want this to be very intimate and very private. Yeah, I think we have like what, I think 70 dads in the group versus my social media. I have like 20,000 plus, followers. It's way different. The small one is this is like my much more. I actually like my smaller one more because it's intimate. It's one on one. It's personal. So I'm more into that. And it's like once again, it's private. I'm not
That's
out there in the
amazing.
world with it.
Yeah. No,
Right?
you just made a huge, great, amazing point, and that's what I'm glad we got that out there, because I think everyone should know that, because there are a difference between somebody making fun of somebody and just making to get views versus somebody that's exposing that certain type of people that you are, but also you're doing it to help people. I think that's amazing. There was something else I was going to ask you about all that. I just lost it in my brain. Oh, tell me a little bit about your. Sorry, you shouldn't smile on this. Tell me a little bit about your story. You don't have to do the whole detail, but you said you have a child and you kind of went through it. Just give me kind of a nutshell of what happened to you.
Yeah, so 3 years ago, I went through it, and the case is still ongoing. As you know, these cases
Yeah,
last
12 years here.
forever,
Never will stop. Yeah.
right? So I can't go into too much detail, but yeah, I mean, the bottom line is, I had a child with someone, and I want to be a father. They didn't want to be a father. They want me to be involved. They want to keep the kid. I'm like, hey, the child need the father too. So I just fought. I just went to court, wasted a lot of money. Spent like around 50,000 plus, dollars. They had to get like a credit card loan, regular loan, just to fight for my kid. I had to like, take out my investment. I had to do a lot just to fight for this one child. But here's honestly, I feel like the thing is, yeah, I lost money, but the money I lost, I'll make that money back. But the time that I was losing, I can't make the time back.
Right.
To me, that was much more important than the money. So, I spent the past 3 years, I fought, and I ended up getting 50-50 custody, with the child. And like it's a girl, my daughter. Love her a lot. That's like my main heart. So, as we all know, like girls, they need their a lot of the media will show black folks in a bad light. So not all black people are gangsters, thugs,
Oh, no.
rappers,
Right.
right? But there's a society, a lot of people's society think that. Let's be honest, right? A lot of
Right.
non-black think that we're just monsters. Like I've been, racial profile, I've been dealt with racism. I've had, a white woman passing by, she hold her purse and walk across the street, and I'm like, bro, I don't need your money. I'm good. So I said to say, I know that side of like, man, they think we all just bad. I'm like, but that's not
Well,
the case.
you know what? That's funny. Ben, listen to this. In Kansas City, there's a state line. It's called State Line. It's Missouri and Kansas.
Mhm.
They purposely back in the day made it where blacks could not buy houses on this side of the state, and they could only buy it here. Our government, I think, purposely made it to segregate us, because they're bad. They're white trash white people. I don't care what your skin looks like. What's inside, but I feel like just like in our family courts, they're separating the moms and dads on purpose to hurt. And in Kansas, if you ever watched that video, it's amazing. Like these poor, like the black people could not come over here, so it's like poor and rich, like literally a street, and that they were made to do that.
They weren't, because, like I said, when you divide, it's easy to conquer when you divide, a group of people, right? So as I had to say, so seeing that, know that it's not all black folks are bad. And also learn to not all white folks are racist. Like I said, I
Right,
have a lot of great white friends.
Right.
So I know like a lot of great people. So not all women are bad, not all men are bad, not all moms are bitter, not all dads are deadbeats. And no thing too with me is I love traveling, meet different people from different countries. I also like had like 1,000 jobs. Like I said, I did from teaching to like tech to mentor to whatever to working with nonprofits for women, for men. So I've dealt with so many race and people in both gender where I've seen the good in everybody.
Oh,
I've
yes.
seen the bad in people too. So I've encountered much more good than I have with bad, right? So to me, like knowing them, like I'm like, okay, cool. I know for a fact that both sides are not bad. Right? I mean, you have both good and bad in everything you do. That's just part of life. You have heaven, you have hell, right? You
Right.
have God, you have the
Right.
devil.
Right.
So
Right.
common sense is that, of course, you're gonna have, you're gonna have good kids, you're gonna have like bad kids. I mean,
Right.
it is what
Right.
it is. It doesn't mean all kids are good or all kids are bad. You're gonna have a bunch of mixture.
Right. Well, and I always told that to my children. Always don't judge people by what people say about them or who they are or anything. Judge them how they are to you. How are they acting to you? That's your opinion of
Mhm,
them, is how
mhm.
they are. Don't listen to any gossiping. I don't care what they wear. I don't, I was the kid that always went and sat by the kids that stank in school because they didn't have money. It's not their fault they smelled bad, right? I was the one
Mhm.
that would sit by the no one would talk to. That was always been my heart. And always try to see somebody for who they really are, not how they look. And
Exactly.
so, and I think maybe that's just how I was raised because I struggle with talking to black people, not talking to black people, but you guys thinking I'm racist because I'm white. And so I don't know, did I say this right? Did I say that right? Because I grew up where there were black people and they were just like us. Like there was no difference in my brain. Never even thought like, oh, they just have different skin color. But man, they are so good at sports and
Yeah.
cheerleading. I love my friends I grew up with, but I didn't have racists in my life. So it's nice to be able to talk to you because I'm not upsetting you, right? When I'm
No, not at
talking.
all. Not at all. Not at
So
all.
what is it though between like that stigma, like me being, and I'm taking this off on a totally different conversation, but maybe I just feel comfortable with you, Ben. But what is it where I have that fear that I'm going to upset you as you thinking that I'm racist, even though I'm not? Like I see everybody as an equal. I care about their heart and who they are as a person. This, not what this is.
Yeah, yeah. No, great question. And I would say two things. So I think number one, it's what the media have put in your head, right? A lot of us are very brainwashed without knowing that we're brainwashed.
Right.
Like when you see something for so long, you start to feel like, man, maybe I am, maybe I am racist, or let me not say X, Y, Z to this guy, or this black woman, because she or he might get mad. So that's number one. Number two, I also think I might be wrong. This is not towards you personally. A
Right.
lot of times too, some white folks might feel guilty for rape for slavery. It's
Oh
like
yeah, I
it's not
do. Yeah,
right,
that's a great point. Yes.
right. So and it's not even it's not even you being evil. It's actually you having a good heart, saying, you know what, damn, I feel bad that they went through that. Like that was part of my clan, part of my group. Like
Yeah,
we
yeah, yeah.
caused
It's
this. Like,
horrible. Right.
I feel bad for them. So you become, like so you become guilty. Like okay, now you walk on eggshell. You get very cautious of how you interact. Same thing with me. Even as a man, I know like a lot of women go through a lot, right? A lot of men do get abused, unfortunately. A lot of women do get treated unfairly and bad by men. So even as a man, when I talk to a woman, I'm like, okay, let me watch how I say things, watch my tone, watch how I
Okay,
interact
that's a great point.
because she might think like I'm one of those guys, or X, Y, and Z. So I kind of watch how I do things because I do feel guilty that we do have some bad people out there that are men. So I said to say, so to me, I watch how I interact with women because I know they either maybe went through something regarding a man, right? So
Right.
that's how I think with white folks is that guiltiness and also feel like, man, let me be very cautious. So it's not you being bad, it's just you like having a heart and kind of be much more
No,
like, right?
that's probably the best explanation I've ever heard. I think that's amazing. Like you have to, the past with a woman, so you have to be like a little bit cautious. It's not that you're fearful, but you're just trying to be cautious, just like I am with you because I'm not black. But yet you're right. Like my heart for what happened to your culture, your people breaks my heart, just like the Holocaust does, like the Jews, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
So it's wrong. And yeah, I've never heard someone say that. I think you just answered one of my questions in my head was, why do I always worry about upsetting any person that's of color? And it's because of that. I feel horribly, horribly guilty for even the Indians, how they were
Yeah.
rushed out,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Yeah. Now, one thing I tell my white folks in journals, like, just be yourself, right? If you're a good person, you will show as a good person. Like don't
Right.
try to force it, don't try to fake it. All my white friends, I like them because they themselves. Like I don't want you to be black. I already have black friends. You know what I'm saying? I
Right.
don't want you to be whatever, trying to talk with a
Oh, right.
slang, whatever.
Right.
I already have that already. I'm trying to get something else. Just be yourself. I got me black folk.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I forgot about like white dudes like to act like black, but it's
Yeah,
like,
it's
but
like don't do
it's
that. Because
it's
that
not
become racist. That become racist. I'm not. You be racist. No,
right. Right.
just
Well,
be
yeah.
yourself. Be you.
Right.
Nah. Don't run. Some white dudes are raised in the hood. They do have. They become product of the environment. I had some friends like that. If that's you, then cool. Okay, that's you. You was raised around that. By default, you will become where you was raised.
Yeah.
That part I get. But if you wasn't raised nowhere near the hood, just be
Right.
yourself. Or like, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? That's kind of like
Right. Right, because I've had neighbors that were black. Then they were raised very rich and very wealthy, and my goodness, their vocabulary was better than mine. Way amazing. So it's really
Mhm.
just where you're raised. It's not, anything but that. But yeah, when there's people try to change who they are, absolutely, hick to the no.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Ben, where can people reach you, and like you didn't tell me your name of your non for profit, or do you have a website? Go ahead and give me all your handles and all your info.
Yeah, so to look at the nonprofit, just go to menbuse.org. We are a 501c3 nonprofit, which means if you donate, you will get tax write-off, etc. It's a very like legit business that we're doing here to help fathers out, help both parents out, both moms and the dads, and mainly the kids having both parents. So go to menbuse.org for more information. You could email Benz at menbuse.org. That's my email. And then if you want to follow me on social media, Menbuse ORG on all platforms: TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. Menbuse ORG. If you want like one-on-one coaching, if you want custody coaching, just come to me. Whether you're a mother or father, I'm on board. It's free. I don't charge for my coaching at all. Also, like if you want me to go over your documents in your legal battle, I'll do that as well. So, like I said, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm always free to help out both parties.
Wow, you're a very sweetheart, and I really, really enjoyed this today. Well, thank you so much for coming on, Ben, and sharing your stuff. You just blew my mind today with all your heart and what you are dealing with, and also doing as a mission for your heart. So, thank you so much for coming on the show, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, and thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for having me. And like I said, keep up the fight. I'm glad that you're giving fathers, man, a voice. It's not just about, man, my ex did X, Y, Z, so let me hate, man. Let me go against,
Yeah.
man. You still have an open heart where let me hear a man's side and not just be in my dark bubble, just dislike all men. So
Yeah.
yeah, like
Well,
I said,
I will tell you, I've dated men that are really good fathers that I know, and I saw firsthand these women doing it to them. So that's why I know it goes back and forth. And but thank you. That really means a lot, because this is a hard platform to be on. Yours is more fun. Mine's more of like hard, but it's growing. Thank you, Ben, for your courage with your work with Menbuse and DocketMind, and thank you to every parent who refuses to be silent. This is how we change the system together. You've been watching the Stand with Meg show. If this conversation moved you, please like and share and follow, and leave a comment and some insight to what you learned today in this show. Please visit standwithmeg.com and follow me on all platforms. Join our movement. We need to stand shoulder to shoulder, parents united as one. Remember, you're not alone. Your voice matters. Your child's future is worth fighting for. I'm Meg, and I'll see you on the front lines. Thank you.